want weirdo or do you want it?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
Good evening and welcome to You Call That Radio TV. I'm excited for this show. I'm a bit blurry, but it'll fix itself in a minute. I'm excited for tonight's show because it's the amazing Hannah Currie, who's been on the show many times before. An incredible director, filmmaker, who is just released a new show called Talent, which is, you see behind me, which is about the art of being a background artist, which most of these will maybe know, be more aware of the phrase extra, which I've done a little bit myself, just a little bit, nowhere near what these guys have done. So I'm excited to speak to the cast of Talent. And we're going to, just before we do that, tomorrow night we've got Mima Merrill live from the Savings Bank at 7 o'clock on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching this on Twitch or Facebook, you're better off going to YouTube for better quality sound and video at youtube.com/You Call That Radio. If you're already on YouTube, remember to hit that subscribe button. And we are also going to be doing a live in real life show on Saturday with Attila, the stockbroker, who's celebrating 40 years of poetry, music, and strong opinions. And he'll be at the Icebox on Saturday night. And we're also next Friday night, we're doing a warm-up show for Down the Rabbit Hole with the Moods all the way from Manchester at the Icebox. I'll put links in the comments if you fancy any of those. Hello, Mark is in the house. Hello, Mark. Hello, Stuart. Welcome to the show. If you haven't seen Talent already, it's an amazing show. I watched it a couple of weeks ago. This has actually been in the book for about a month or two, so I've been excited for ages to speak to all of these people. I'm going to start with Hannah, who some of you will recognise from previous shows, previous pub quizzes. It's Hannah Currie. How's it going, Hannah?
Very well, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. I have been better, but I'm good. Let's just leave it at that. Thank you for joining us. We booked this in January, I think.
I know. It's been crazy. I keep getting really, really busy and having, like I'll plan for things and then I hate when you do that. And then I actually look at my diary and I'm like, okay, we can do this in a month's time. But I'm super glad to be here. Thanks so much for having us. My favourite YouTube show.
Favourite YouTube show?
The only YouTube show I watch.
The only show on YouTube. But the only show. There's actually only one show on YouTube. Great to have you back. And
thank you.
So obviously a big fan of your work from all the stuff I've seen you do before. And this just seemed a bit different. And at first, because at first when I was watching, I was like, this doesn't seem like a kind of Hannah thing. This doesn't seem like the thing that Hannah normally does. It seems like a bit of departure from what you usually do. And I was like watching it going, this doesn't seem like the kind of thing I would normally watch. But I just got right into it, right involved. And, by the end, every single one of these people that we're about to meet tonight, they're all amazing personalities. And I was just, I was wanting them to win and do well. How did you pick the people? Did you know these people beforehand, or how did you select these amazing characters?
Oh man, yeah, you're not the first person to say that about departure from my normal stuff, and I think it's maybe a little bit more positive because typically I'm dealing with kind of big mental health issues and maybe more serious themes, and I really wanted, I think after the few years that we've had, I really wanted to do something positive, and there were several points along those 2 years of the pandemic where it really looked like this project wasn't going to happen. So I kind of have Studio Something, the production company, to thank for keeping the fire going under it. The answer to how did I pick the people, a very long casting process and very Sonia's got thousands of people on her book. So Sonia's the agent, if you haven't seen it. She is kind of the matriarch of this family of talent, and they come from all walks of life, and that's what's always fascinated me about Sonia and her agency. So I actually knew her from back when I produced adverts for STV, and I used to get cast off her, so I used to get talent from her for the ads. Always thought Sonia was larger than life, out there, funny, and just that doesn't, kind of goes to the beat of her own drum. And I thought that was she's just made for a documentary. And then she has this extensive family of talent. And I wanted to meet as many of them as possible. I had met one before because I did a dating show called Zoom to Groom, and Sonia kindly sort of shared. Yeah, Sonia shared
lockdown sensation.
Exactly, the other YouTube show, the only other YouTube show.
That's right. There used to be 2 shows on YouTube.
Yeah, but now this is, we'll be back. But Sonia had shared my call out for participants of that, and one guy, Davey, kind of got in touch via her. And I just, I knew then he was an amazing character, just very, very funny. People loved him on the show. So when it came down to the casting, he put himself forward, and he was still as kind of brilliant as ever, and actually had quite a poignant story had kind of unfolded for him during lockdown, which took me by surprise. So it was, he was at a real turning point in his life, and I thought that seemed like a journey that would be really relatable to a lot of people. And then I knew I wanted a family, somebody that had signed their whole family up to the agency, because I was quite fascinated by that dynamic. I found the Hamiltons, who definitely weren't what I expected. I think you probably think like stage mom and, people that kind of, push their kids in, and it just wasn't that scenario at all. It was again, a really heartfelt story behind, the reasons why they were doing it. It was tough, to be honest. It was tough to pick the people. So we also, I should mention Evans and Brianne, who are our other 2 talent that feature in the show. I mean, if you've seen the show, or if you watch it, you'll be able to tell very quickly why I chose these people, because they're magnetic, and you're rooting for them, as you say. So it was like a total pleasure to be able to film with them and tell their stories. And to be honest, it just felt like we didn't really have long enough to really delve into the stories in an hour. But that's a good thing. I think you want to leave them wanting more.
Yeah, you do want more. You want a sequel, and maybe we'll talk about the possibility of that maybe happening in the future. You mentioned Sonia, who we'll get on later on. She's got everyone on her books. I think I might be on her books as well. I'm a
you look like you're on
artist
Time Watch or
myself.
something with that blur.
Sorry, I don't know why that's something. I'm messing about with the lights. I've been messing about with the lights. But yeah, I've been but I think I'm in Sonia's, because I went through a phase where I think I signed up. Someone got me some extra work, and I did it, and I really enjoyed it. And then I thought, right, I'm just going to sign up to all of them. So I signed up to all of them, and I haven't really had much in the way of work, really. But I've been in Outlander. I've been in
Emma will be jealous.
Not Love Actually. I say Love Actually, people go, what? That's a famous film. It's not that. It was a Netflix series that was called something like that. Hold on, let me just get this the brightness right here. And it's so what thing about background artists that people don't know is that you start off. Sometimes you can get really lucky, because I wasn't actually bored of being on the telly, because I'm on the YouTube already. So I was just happy to just sort of sit in the corner and not do anything. And then every so often you get flung in at the deep end. I went to Outlander. I had to be there at 5 in the morning, and because it's back in the times where shoes didn't exist, you're in in an Ayrshire beach at 6 in the morning all day. I was pulling up a thing. I think it was what was it called? I don't know, a sand bucket. So I was just it was physically quite demanding for someone as out of shape as me. And I just did that all day, and that was a tough shift. But then there was another shift where I actually just walked to work in the south side, and I wore a suit, and I just had to pretend I was in a party for 5 minutes, and it was easy money. And I was like, oh, this is easy. And everyone I've done since then has been not easy at all. I was on that vigil. I went in vigil, and I just got flung in at the last minute. I think the guy knows me, and he's like, oh, he's in a band, and he's like, oh, Mark, we'll get you a wee scene. And I was like, I don't want a scene. I drank too much coffee, and I was terrified, because I was actually in the past I'd only been a background guy, but this time I was still a background guy, but I was in a scene with a real actor. It was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Yeah. And I mean, I think I'd imagine that background artists go through lots of people, because it's a lot of waiting around, a lot of patience, and it is your nerves as well. I mean, how many people do you think, how many background artists can actually last longer than two shows, would you say?
It's super tough, and Sonia kind of talks about that in the documentary. It's, it's really difficult to make it a full-time gig, and obviously, a lot of people that are getting into this kind of work is because they have aspirations to act, or for some it's a hobby, for some they just love the buzz of doing that. But I was really fascinated by the people who do it regularly, because it can be a really tough gig, and it can be depending on where you sit on the scale, it can be good money or terrible money. And I think that's kind of was the big question, overarching question of the documentary, is the kind of why of that. And what I found was that people have, reasons sort of far bigger than just kind of appearing on the telly or appearing, back left of the telly, for doing this. And I also found people who have made a huge success of it, and who have, gone on to do roles that they never would have dreamed of, or have opportunities that they never would have dreamed of. People make friends for life for doing it. So I think it's a really big community, and I think it's I always love the show extras, and I find that the kind of reality of the situation is often even more entertaining, and just really it really is like a real life version of that. So there's just loads there, and Scotland's industry is just kind of like getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there are opportunities that there weren't before. I think Evans in the show said, like these days anything's possible. You can, like there's the guy on TikTok who's like gone from being a postman to being like #1 in the charts. You actually can make a path for yourself, because of where we're at today with the internet, and just kind of opportunities. So I quite like that idea that you have a dream, well, go for it.
I think that's maybe why I wanted to do it. I thought extras did, because I don't think I'd ever really thought about extras before until I seen the show extras.
Exactly.
And I love the fact that Keith Chegwin and everyone sending themselves up, and just that I love the idea of everyone just playing in like an exaggerated version of themselves. So I thought it was way ahead of its time. It's quite. I've not watched it for ages, but what a great show. Well, what actually we do is we bring on our first one. We've got Mary watched it earlier on today, because I put a post up saying watch talent so that you can know what we're talking about. She absolutely loved it, and she's a big massive fan of Outlander, so she might get in touch with Sonia. Well, Sonia's always looking for people. You'll speak to her later on. It's alltalentagency.co.uk if you quite like the sound of this and you would quite like to get involved in it. So let's get our, I think Davey's our first guest. So Davey, can you hear us okay?
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, Davey. How did you get involved in the show, and what did you think of when you watched back the final cut for the first time?
How did I get involved in the show? Well, as Hannah mentioned, I met Hannah doing Zoom to Groom, an online dating show, which I loved. It was great fun. And I didn't know at the time she'd be making a documentary on Sonia's talent agency, which I was part of. And it just felt like the stars sort of aligned, and before I knew it, I had a camera in my house and I was showing them my grand stair lift and how we escort the washing up the stairs. And when I watched it back, great documentary. I hate watching myself. There's nothing worse than watching yourself. But I thought all in all, it encapsulated the spirit of what we do, how hard it can be, how celebrated it can be as well. And it was just a great watch, and a lot of people seemed to enjoy it, and a lot of people were saying they got invested in the cast. So who knows what will happen? I'd do it again.
Sequel, it needs to be done. Yeah, I loved it, man. And I think rooting is the right word, because I was totally rooting for all you guys. And I thought it was interesting what you said there, that you hate watching yourself on screen, but yet you choose to be an extra. And that seems to be a thing that maybe people wouldn't. Why is this? So why do you get involved even though you hate watching yourself on the screen? What is it?
Because you realise, like, for me, you realise how big your nose is. You're like, is that how big my nose is? I've been there. Sometimes they just get you from unflattering angles. Sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong. At the start, you're like, oh, they're in there. Did you see me? Yeah. And people are texting you, going, I seen you on this, I seen you on that. But after a while, that kind of wears off, and you're like, ugh, I'd rather rip off my toenails and watch myself, to be honest. I'm quite critical of myself anyway. So even if they're saying, can you walk from there to there when we see action? Fine. then they'll do a walk like that. Do you know?
You do other things as well, right? So I thought it was great that you're in a Steps tribute act, who I believe is playing Aberdeen. Can we talk a little bit about that?
I've been in a Steps tribute act for just coming up 10 years. So we've played all over the country, done some great gigs, worked with some great people, and like kind of, as much as I've got a passion for kind of acting, in general I've got a passion for performing, and the Steps tribute act allows me to kind of kid on my pop star overnight on a wee stage in a bowling club or on an STV appeal concert. So it's good fun.
That's amazing, man. And also, there was a I think my favourite bit was when you were in it, was when you said, sort of nonchalantly, you said something about a ghost hunting business or something. It was just kind of like a thing, like, you know, as a normal sentence it was said, I used to run a ghost hunting business, and it just kind of moved on from it. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, I'm a believe it or not, I'm quite a spiritual guy, and I believe in all that sort of stuff. And I'm a type of person, I like to get in the arse crack at everything. If you tell me something is something, I want to know why that is, how it is. And so I've always sort of believed. And one Christmas, my mum got me all the ghost hunting gear, all the spirit boards, the spirit boxes, all the stuff. And I thought I could, A, do something I'm really interested in, and B, make a little bit of money out of it. So made up a website myself, trotted around the country, spending night in haunted locations, and I swear to you, you might laugh at me, but the stuff we experienced, right, I would put my mortgage, my life savings, my brother, my mother, my nieces on the line that there is life after death. See, I'm getting all fired up and passionate about that. But absolutely, it's so interesting, but it's quite scary as well, you know.
Absolutely, the unknown.
Aye.
And Steps is Steps with a Z. If
Steps with a Z.
A Steps tribute act, the best Steps tribute act in Scotland or UK or the world.
Now.
Best Steps tribute in the world, would we say?
In the UK, I've not seen the international ones. I don't think Steps are international, are they?
There's a German Steps is just better. But yeah, Steps is Z. And you're playing Aberdeen. Is this a private function, or can Aberdonian viewers pop along?
You can pop along. I think it's sold out though, because that's how good we are. Right. It's sold out, but go to the Bridge of Dawn Country Club, see if there's tickets. Fire in, see you there.
Amazing stuff. Yoko Pono, an amazing band who are actually launching their album next month. They're saying it's a 5-star cardigan. Respect, Yoko Pono enjoy a good cardigan themselves. And Mary's saying, you're a great watch, Davey. You're a natural.
Oh, thanks, Mary.
And we're going to speak more to Davey, but we've got a few people get through, so let's just get all the introductions out the way. We've got the amazing Brianne next. Brianne, can you hear us?
Hi, yeah, I can. Hi.
How you doing? So, I'm just going to ask the same question again, lazy interviewer, but I think it's just a good one just to introduce everyone. So, how did you hear about the show, and what was your thoughts when you watched it back for the first time, the final cut?
So I actually heard of the show when I was in hospital, paralysed. The first meeting I had with Hannah, I was in a hospital bed, paralysed down one side. And, you know, we weren't really sure what was going to happen, if I was going to regain use of, like, that side. So it was all very kind of ifs and buts. But I got an email from Sonia who was like, do you want to be part of this thing? And I was like, I'm paralysed, but okay. And thankfully, like, I'm obviously not completely paralysed anymore. Yeah, that's the story of how I heard about it. And when it actually came out, it was like, one, I don't know how Hannah managed to edit how much she filmed into what she got. But it was just amazing, like, watching it back and seeing everyone else's stories as well, because we hadn't properly all got to see each other before.
Oh, so you weren't actually, you've not met before in the real world? Well, I suppose it's really been difficult. What you touched on that earlier on, Hannah, as well, with the fact that with COVID and basically everything just not existing anymore, you can't like meetups and things like that. So was it? When was the first time you met, or have you even met in the real world?
Yeah, we have now.
Once.
Yeah. Once. We had a little.
I hear a rumour
Sorry.
that you're all going to Steps together.
Yeah.
We are.
Oh, that's
Yes, we are. I forgot about
We
that.
are. Yeah.
The real steps. The real steps.
The real
The real
Steps.
Steps. Davey rallied the troops and said who wants to go see Steps, and we all thought that sounded like a real good time. So we're going in the summer together.
And
Um,
I don't want to do too many spoiler alerts, but my favourite part from your part, Brianne, was when you were talking about how you love Casualty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like I'm a wee bit out the look with normal television these days, but I watched Casualty. You know, it was always there from the start. Is Charlie still there?
Yeah.
I'm a bit,
Yeah.
is he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, good on Charlie, man. What a legend. Did you meet Charlie?
No, not the day I was on set,
Oh,
unfortunately.
that's a shame. Aye, man, he's been doing it since. Well, he's
Yeah,
been on
remember?
it since
I
probably
know
as long as
Hannah
I've been
told me to
alive.
get a picture with him or something. She was like, I know it's not professional, but get a picture with this guy that plays Charlie, but he wasn't on set that day.
Well, there is rules about background art, isn't there? So, like I said, I've done it a couple of times. I'm not an expert on it, but I've done it a couple of times. And you're not allowed to ask for a picture, and you're not supposed to take pictures on set and stuff. How strict is that rule?
I think it depends on the set. I've worked on sets where like you can chat away to the celebrities and like it's fine. They just treat you like another person, and then there's other ones where you don't even go near them. You don't approach them. You don't take any photos. Like you just kind of do the job.
Well, actually, I had one situation I had that was quite interesting. Was this guy was the main guy? I'm not going to say who it is because it's embarrassing. He's a very famous actor. I was unaware that he was the actor, and he just went. I was like in a kitchen making a tea or coffee. That was part of my scene, but he walks out, and then before we started the scene, he went, "How you doing, mate? You all right?" And I went, "I am all right, mate. Yourself?" And then before I knew it, I was in a scene with him, and I went, "Oh my god, he's really good. He's a really good actor." And then everyone else was like, "Oh, did you meet such and such?" And I was like, "Oh my god." He was trying to be nice and go, you know what? He's talking to the background artist, like I was a normal guy, and I didn't even recognise him, and I felt really bad about that. Gary Clooney says, worked with Davey loads of times on set, great guy.
Hi, Gary. Send your £20 in the post, son.
And before, I think we're going to bring on Emma in a little second, and then we're going to get Sonia, who's the booker of all the talent. I'm excited to. Like I said, I think I'm a member of Sonia's. I think I'm on it. I don't know if I've actually worked for Sonia before, but I think I'm registered with her, so I'm excited to speak to her finally. But have you guys got anything coming up just now? Are you working on anything just now? Are you allowed to talk about it, or?
Not that we're allowed to talk about.
Oh, of course, it's the rules. And Sonia's watching, so don't break any rules. Stick to the rules. And let's bring on Emma Hamilton. Hello, Emma. Can you hear us
Hello. Yep, I can hear you fine. Hello.
okay? Thank you for coming on the show, Emma. I loved your story as well. It was absolutely brilliant. And just the same question again. How did you hear about it, and what did you make of the final cut after you seen it?
So we were contacted by the production. They were looking just at ideas of people to bring into the documentary. So they done like a kind of Zoom audition type thing with me and my husband and the kids, and it was absolutely carnage. Like the kids were like jumping on top of our heads. They weren't listening. They were running around in circles, and they're normally quite well behaved, but this time they weren't. But I think that's what actually got us apart because they thought.
Hannah likes a bit of chaos. Hannah's like, yes. Content.
Listening to her. That'll be good TV. So, we ended up signing up, and you know what? I really didn't know what to expect from it. I wasn't sure how big a part we were playing in it. I wasn't sure if it was just like a few minutes. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. And then obviously Hannah and that started coming around and following us about, and it was actually great fun. We get that used to them being here that it became really natural, and didn't bother as much about the mess.
That is a true point, Hannah. How long would you say it takes for people to start acting natural? Because obviously, as soon as you put a camera on me, I'm just like, I've got nothing to say. I'm kind of getting used to the webcam being there, but I'm just kind of getting used to that now. But when someone's actually got a camera, it just makes you. Everyone just. I would imagine most people will act a bit strange. How long does it take before people just start being a bit more natural and being themselves?
It totally depends on the contributor, but I think the really nice thing about this is that people were kind of used to being in front of a camera in some ways, so they weren't totally fazed by it. And I think the kind of probably the most important part of my job is to make people feel at ease and for them to understand kind of what my intentions are with the film and make sure that they're on board with that and we're on the same page. And then from that moment on, I think it makes it a lot easier for people to relax and kind of, you know, and also just talk about concerns. Obviously, people have concerns about, oh, you know, how will this come across, or what about this? And just always having really open communication with people about why you want to film something or why you think that that's an important angle or an important question, and listening to people really. So generally, like, you know, it's my goal to make them for them to be able to relax, you know, as soon as I come in with a camera, really. And these lot were great.
Well, I mean, I do music videos and I do comedy skits that we've written and stuff like that, and I can be confident and be okay with it. But when it is like an actual real like cameras
I'm the
there,
same.
and people you don't know, like, oh, it's quite scary. When I said that bit I was in Vigil, I was like, whoa, this is quite intense, and aye. So fair play to anyone who could do it. Emma, I thought it was amazing. My favourite bit of yours was when you went down to, I think it was London, to do your showreel, and then
That was my favourite bit as
you did
well.
an actual speaking part, and you were absolutely brilliant.
Oh, thanks very much.
How nervous were you for that? Because I mean, you're actually travelling such a long way to create a piece of art. Was that nerve-wracking? You didn't show any nerves whatsoever.
See, to be honest, I didn't feel too nervous about it because I was absolutely buzzing. I was so excited to just go and do it. It was a double it was almost like double pressure because Hannah with the BBC and the crew that I had never met before, you know, at the one time. So it was a wee bit daunting, but I was just absolutely buzzing to just get stuck in and do it. So I loved it. I just loved every second of it. It was great fun.
And what about
We had an absolute. Oh, sorry,
Hannah, you go.
We had
an absolute nightmare on that shoot whereby I started vomiting on the way to the shoot and couldn't stop, and so I was like running off between takes, and I was giving the camera to my production assistant to hold while I was like this really fancy Tudor house in Surrey, with a wee porta cabin outside that was for the builders, and I was in it like vomiting loudly, and this person like who owned the house was like bringing me tea and being like, "Are you all right?" It was very, very odd. And then our car, we decided to drive home. We were trying to stay there, but we couldn't because you forgot your passport, Emma.
I was going to come in the car, but because you were feeling sick, they said that I could just fly home. But I never took my passport or my driver license because I didn't think that I was driving home. So then we had to drive home, and then the car broke down. Traffic. We broke down at 3 o'clock in the morning. It took us about 18 hours to get home or something to London. You should have filmed that. That was hilarious.
I'm glad you like the scene. I'm glad you like the scene because it took a lot out of us.
This is worth it.
Yeah, the documentary takes a turn. It's just Hannah vomiting in a broken down car for 18 hours. The director's cut is coming soon.
Yeah,
just bad
let's
luck.
get the lady who makes it all happen, Sonia. I think we can go live to Sonia.
Drum roll,
Sonia.
please.
Oh, she looks fabulous.
Hi, darling.
Sonia, it was good to finally put a face to a name because obviously I think I'm on your list. I don't think I've worked for you before, but I'm on your list and I see your email, so like I just know your name. And then I seen you and you were absolutely brilliant. How did you get into becoming like a shepherd of extras?
I like that, a shepherd of extras. I've not been called that before. I set up an agency in 2005 and I just wanted to do something different and wanted to treat people that were doing it as people and as an important commodity, and create this community that we have at All Talent now. Yay! And I've got everyone's back and I'm... Yeah.
So you obviously knew Hannah previously and that's just sort of how it came about. So we can skip that bit and go to what was your reaction to seeing the final cut for the first time?
Oh, it was amazing. I've just tears of joy, it just catches your heart. Hannah is incredible, and with the backing and support of Studio Something, they just made the most beautiful documentary. I couldn't have asked for anything better. It was, that started. We discussed this a few years ago, Hannah and I, and never thought it was ever going to come to fruition. And then she phoned me up during the pandemic going, right, we've got the green light, and things had just started to open up. So it was a bit of a panic trying to get organised because I didn't even have an office at that point.
Amazing. And I take it you get probably your email inbox kind of people signing up after watching the show. Have you seen a rise in the people that are wanting to become background artists?
Yeah, definitely we have a rise, and not just background artists, like right across all the divisions. The website's getting a lot more traffic on it as well. So yeah, it's all good. It was a gift, but keeps on giving.
We've got a quick 20-second trailer here. I'm going to just play for anyone who's not seen it. It's available on iPlayer just now.
I've seen the industry here grow and grow.
They could ask you to do anything and you just say, yeah, let's do it.
When people say you can't do something, just try harder to do it.
Meet the Talent, Tuesday the 7th of December on the BBC Scotland channel and iPlayer.
And just to clarify, you don't need to wait till the December, because that trailer came out, I think, November, I'm guessing. Something like that, maybe October. I don't know exactly when the trailer came out, but it's out now on iPlayer. How long's it out there for, Hannah?
I think it's out until December, and then they repeat it on TV quite a lot. So, but I think it will actually be till December of this year. But don't wait till then to watch it. Get yourselves on there. I think what you said, Mark, a lot of people say, oh, it's not the sort of thing I would have normally watched, and then they watch it and it's totally not what they expected. So
it's
I do encourage it.
It's not. I mean, I wouldn't have watched if I wouldn't have watched, because I know you, Hannah, and I know all your work. I'm a big fan of your works, but I was like, and also when I found out it was about background artists or extras, as most people know it is, I was excited because obviously I've done it. I've done it, not very successfully, but I've done it in the past. Mary saying, I'm definitely recommending it to all my friends. It was a brilliant watch, and Mary was nervous when she was in our music video. Well done, Mary. Mary has been an extra, of course, yes, an unpaid extra, of course, because it was my band Gyro Babies fetching Pitchfork. You were amazing, Mary. So if you're into it, go and do it again. What bit of advice would you give Sonia, if there's maybe people watching this and going, I quite fancy that? Because I think everybody fancies that a wee bit. I think everybody wants to either do a song or be on a TV show, but you know, it's a good entry point for people who are maybe wanting to get into acting professionally, or for people who are just wanting to have fun. What advice would you give them, and how many different types of people come through your doors digitally, obviously, because you've just got an office, but you know what I mean.
Well, I do have an office now. I've turned my home into an office, but so that was a couple of questions. So the first one is, we do get lots and lots of different people, and we want that to keep coming, to manage the expectations of our clients. We are a bit further behind in recruitment because we can't have our big open days that I used to love doing and getting to meet people and getting a feel for people. So we're having to do it more electronically now, but we will hopefully get back to that soon and hire a place and get people in to visit and to sign up. So we have had funeral directors wanting to join, people from all walks of life wanting to get involved. It's a really good way to see if you can stand the long hours, the cold days, and as you say, standing, making a bucket up or whatever. So I feel that any of my extras that can endure things like Outlander, where they're up at 3 o'clock in the morning to be on set for 5 and stand in a freezing cold field, I think they deserve a medal, and they definitely are top of our list to get out on shoots, because we know they're going to get up in the morning, which is really important to have a good alarm clock and get up in the morning, because the days are early starts and long days. I think some people have been out filming a big Warner Brothers production just now. I can't say any more than that. And I think their filming days have been 15 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you want to get into this and move and progress from extra work, then we strongly recommend is drama lessons. You must learn how to there's one thing as an extra going across to the River City bar and going, I'll have a pint of lager, or my debut on it was, I'm off to the loo. and then creating a character.
Sorry, can we go back to it? When you said, I'm off to the loo, were you on camera or were you in the background just saying that? Because I did that once when you've got to do the pretend talking thing. and I'll just go full screen for this one. So it was just me and this guy. I don't even know the guy's name. We didn't even get introduced, but we were just going. Well, we didn't say because that would get picked up in the sound. But it was kind of, and I just found that really trippy. But I think we did a good job. And as for the Outlander thing, I did that in Ayrshire Beach, and a nondescript Ayrshire Beach. I'm from Ayrshire, and I don't know where this place was, near Ayr or something. And I was up at 5 in the morning, but I should have got up at 4 in the morning because I was about 20 minutes late, and maybe that's why I'm not getting the work. Maybe that's why I'm not getting. Do you go in the blacklist if you're 20 minutes late?
Well, it depends who you are.
Well, I'm nobody, so I'm in the blacklist.
Well, yeah, we do expect people to get there on time, and we do for if there's a lot of travel. Obviously, if it's at 5 in the morning, we wouldn't give them any. But a wee secret is that if you're going down to like Dumbarton, we'll always give you an extra 15 minutes on your call time. So if it's 8 o'clock, your call time from us is 7:45.
Dave's acting shocked.
Problem with getting to Dumbarton.
Did you not know you got a free 15 minutes?
No, I heard the wee rumours, but I didn't think it was true.
15 minutes if you're going to Dumbarton. It's just Dumbarton. Only Dumbarton. Everywhere else you've got to be in time, but Dumbarton will be an extra 15 minutes. No offence, Dumbarton. We've got some questions coming in.
But you were asking
if anyone's got any questions, leave in the comments. I'll try and read them out. Mark McInnes, do you need a TV licence to watch it? No comment. Next question. Great show. G. Ritchie. Hannah is very talented, as well as the cast. Effie says, cheers Mark, you call that radio sorry tad late. We were late as well. We started half an hour later than normal today. Why? Just to keep you on your toes. And Mary's looking forward to seeing this. You will love it, Mary. You will absolutely love it. It's a great show. And we're going to do it. I think we've got a wee cut here. It's Brianne. I think is this taken from Talent? It's like basically a short film. It's kind of the programme.
Yeah, the BBC cut wee promos sometimes and do their own thing and put their own music on it, which always rankles me because I'm always like, what have you done to our music edits? But yeah, they choose
like some horrible kind of random
library track,
pop library track.
Exactly, because you're not usually, because it's shared online, you can't kind of have your commercial tracks that you can on TV. So yes, they've cut this lovely little film that tells some of Brianne's story to sort of entice people into watching the documentary. So
amazing, Brianne. And what was your reaction when you seen the shortened version of it?
Mine, it was a bit like, oh wow, me, oh, yeah, and it was nice to kind of almost see it all together, but it also just felt a bit like, where's everyone else? Like everyone else got it. Yeah.
You're the chosen one.
Yeah.
And absolutely amazing. You did brilliant in it. And then let's just have a little look at that just now for people who haven't seen it before. Check
and
it out. Let us know what you make of this.
Modelling as well.
I'll go back to the start. This is BBC will definitely
I'm
have a
Brianne.
copyright for
I
this.
am 21. I'm an actress and I do modelling as well. Whenever I can, at least.
We're gonna need it.
Oh, the cat's there too. Oh no.
I know how like most parents keep their child baby teeth or like creepy things like that. So we have a cupboard filled with my baby arms. So I have like a whole baby arm collection. This is the creepiest one. This one literally looks identical to a baby's hand. This one has a lot of really funny stories because like it's literally got like wrinkles and nails. We were getting on the bus because at that point Mum and Dad didn't drive, and there's this wee old lady like carrying her shopping and also trying to get on the bus. But I ran ahead of my mum, so my mum was just left holding my arm and I ran ahead, and the wee woman screamed because you don't expect a child's hand to come off when they run away from the parents. When I was younger, I knew that people like see me differently because obviously there was children that would be like, why do you have no hands? And I'd just be like, because I just don't, okay? Like, why do you have hands? Probably wasn't until like I got to an age where I could kind of understand that I was the odd one out and not everyone else. Yeah, they used to joke and call it Brianne syndrome because I've got loads of really rare stuff that no one else seems to have. My dream role, oh, that's a hard one. Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid. Probably something in either Grey's Anatomy or Casualty. That's like the two. Like Casualty, it's like one of my favourite things. Like I'm up to date with it. Like it's really good.
Here she is. Brianne!
Brianne was struggling for a bit, so we invited her up to the office so that we could have a chat face to face.
Hi. Hi, I'm good. How are you?
How's things been with yourself?
Yeah, I ended up having quite a rough lockdown. There was days where like you would message me and have like a really rubbish day and I'd be like, oh, Sonia here. I'd be like, that's nice.
But you're important, you know, everyone in my book's important.
Yeah.
Nice thing is not just the agency, we're here,
Yeah.
we're community.
Yeah, yeah, like
we all have a day, you know, it's like having a pet does help. Having Bruno got me out of my bed every day.
Yeah.
I think if not, I probably wouldn't have got out of bed.
Like when you were like, do you want a self-tape? I was like, yes, yes, please, yes. It's like, I need something, anything, like even if I didn't get them, I was like, thank God I've got something to do. Like I've got something to get me by.
We've put you up for quite a few things since things have opened up with the lockdown. But you've been so close to quite a few things.
Yeah,
and then something exciting happened. So we've been working away behind the scenes and thinking about how can we just like keep driving you forward with work. We've got a possibility of doing some essay work on casualty.
Yeah.
Would you be interested in doing something like that? Because we've been speaking to them and hopefully they're...
Yeah, that's I love casualty. It's one of my favourite programs. yeah, literally. My dog loves it as well. She's like, as soon as she hears the like, theme tune, she runs in. So yeah, 100%.
Right.
I'm gonna get to do my dream job. Like that's like one of my dream jobs. Just amazing. Dream agent, like if you tell her like, oh, I want to do something, then she'll get it done. Oh my god, casualty. If you'd said to me like even a year ago, I'd have said no, there's no way that that's what I'm doing. Like that's not my life. It's almost like being on your TV. Like it just feels surreal. I think I'm supposed to be here. Walk forward.
Walk forward. And then tuck in left after that lift.
Would you turn?
Yes.
Just turn left? Okay.
Yeah.
Getting myself out there and being around people who like do have lots of experience, like learn from them. Just try not to trip over my own feet. When they say act natural, you kind of then panic and go, what's natural? So cool. I like the hands. I like creepy. Because they move as well. Whereas obviously like the ones that I'm used to are just solid.
We did them all here and we cast them all on real artist hands and
limbs and everything. So obviously I get prosthetics for like the bionic side of it all and the fancy, you know. But yeah. I just kind of thought, no, like the acting industry doesn't want someone with no hands. Like that's just not a career path. When people say you can't do something, just kind of try harder to do it, just to prove them wrong. Because I mean that always feels good for anyone.
If you call that radio TV, we are live with the cast of talent. That was absolutely brilliant. Good to watch that back again.
So good.
Well done, yeah. Absolutely amazing. And Casualty, I mean, that just shows you, I mean, that is probably the longest standing. I mean, obviously, I think you've got EastEnders, Coronation Street, and that's about it, I would imagine. Is there anyone else in Britain that's been that long? Sonia, maybe you know?
Me? I just don't think the longest running soap was Coronation Street.
Yeah, so it's like, because it's Casualty. I have days that begin like Casualty, you know, that way where you know something bad's going to happen. It's like, because Casualty, you're like, oh no, don't do that. It's great. So you mentioned, so that was a dream come true. So you actually were wanting Casualty and Grey's Anatomy. So that's my next question that I'm going to ask everyone. So you've already done Casualty, so if you get Grey's Anatomy, that's the last one on the bucket list, basically. Then.
Yeah, then some musical theatre ones, but besides that, yeah, like I'm kind of up there with all the stuff that, like, if you'd said to me a couple of years ago, you're going to be doing this, I'd have been like, no, I'm not. Scary stuff, yeah. Although it nearly did happen with my mum.
And Yas, go on yourself, says Mark McInnes. I think.
Sorry.
Sorry. That's just like when BBC Scotland do a short.
I wasn't distracted. I was trying to hear something.
Actually put in the original. Hello, is that you? That's Sophia.
Oh, there's Sophia.
Sophia, hello, Sophia. You're on Facebook. By the way, YouTube, if you're on Facebook or Twitch, go to youtube.com/You Call That Radio. It sounds and looks better over there. Amazing, says Stuart. Epi says, cool as fuck, beautiful person. Cool AF, sorry for swearing. Yeah, so the next, going to ask the same question then to Davey. Let's go for Davey. So, obviously, as we've established from Brian, like, there is no rules. You can just do anything. You can do anything. What would you want to be involved in? What would be the film or the TV show, Davey, for you?
Do you know, I'm going to pure sound a wee bit, I don't know what the word is, but I've been doing this for about 7 years. I've been with Sonia for about 7 years, and I've kind of done the rounds. I've done it all, and I don't think there's anything left, like for me to to do. But like, my dream is just to like consistently work and consistently be busy and consistently make money. Like, if a part came up, a speaking part came up in something, anything, if I felt I could do it, I'd do it. But I'm such a person that I don't plan things. I don't plan things at all. Things just happen. If it's meant to happen, it'll be. If it's not, it wasn't for me.
Absolutely. So that's a no comment, basically. It's a no comment. It's a no comment.
A long way to say no comment.
A politician answer.
Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm only joking, David. I'm only joking. Let's ask Emma. Emma, is there anything that you would love to be involved in, film, TV-wise?
I think it's quite obvious now. I want to go and Outlander.
All right, is it still this route? Because we talked about it. Is that not happened yet, Sonia? Come on, even I've been an Outlander. Well, I don't know if I've actually been on it. I did stand for 12 hours with gym shoes or made of cardboard because shoes didn't exist when Outlander's made. Pulling up a bucket of sand, and I don't even know. I don't watch Outlander, so I don't know if I might appear in it. Nobody certainly tagged me in it, and I would need, there's a lot of episodes to get through to just maybe see me in the background. But Outlander, Sonia, why is this not happened yet? Why is Emma not an Outlander?
Well, they don't start filming till later on next month, so we're all over this.
What's the space?
They're starting. The production of Office is actually just opened. The castings have started, so we're in the process. So Emma will be on Outlander if it's the last thing I do for season 7.
Absolutely. I'll even if you're on Outlander, I'll go right back to start and watch them all, and I might even see myself halfway through. I don't know, but it's like I said, I've not watched the show Outlander, but I thought all the crew were really nice. It was a great bunch of people to work with, and yeah, and I mean, I think that, am I right in saying that Outlander has kind of changed the game a bit in Scotland, just because it has brought so many jobs to Scotland, and it's maybe made, you know, now you've got everything from, you know, like with Batgirl and Superman and all these things coming to Glasgow, and I think like Scotland does seem like a real thing. Maybe it's just, why is this happening? Sorry, is it a mixture of the talent that's here, or is it the fact that it's just too expensive to do it in America now? But it just seems like Scotland just seems much more popular than it's ever been.
I think there is a financial incentive for companies to come here. And also I think the popularity of Outlander in America has been phenomenal for us. I mean, it's been running for 6 seasons now, and we're about to start filming season 7, starring Emma.
Emma featuring Outlander.
Emma! It's the Hamiltons!
Mary!
So I think, you know, it's like, it's been phenomenal for us. We had World War Z was here before, plus a load of other films. And I think one of the films came, they did a bit of filming. I think the premiere's today in London for it, and they did some filming of Batman, and they've come back to film a full feature, or just about the full feature here, which is great. So we've got more crew, we've got more talent here. You know, it's like interesting in the documentary, the English people doing the makeup, the English lady doing the makeup, going, "Are you coming to London to work now?" And Emma's like, "No, not really. I'm going to stay at home with my family." And now you can do that. So, you know, it's great. It's just grown. I've seen the industry grow and started a business as an agent in 2005, going into a recession and just seeing how things have changed. Also, we are getting better rates for extras. And I've also seen that extras are getting opportunities to act now, where it used to be a complete no-no, and now it is happening. People are getting lines, and as you were going back to the loo, I actually did have a line. Well, I actually created the line. I ad-libbed it, and it stayed in for River City with the main cast. Was sitting having a chat and playing someone's girlfriend in it, and then I had to exit. My family flagged me about that for ages.
Right? You were in Trainspotting 2 as well. Trainspotting 2.
Yes, that's right. Rear of the year.
That is cool. That's cool. Do you know we've had Trainspotting people in it. Hugh Reid, who was in the original. Hugh Reid was in the original Trainspotting, which is a great claim to fame. We've also had Gary, who's the assistant director of Trainspotting 2 as well on the show as well. I mean that is amazing stuff. Well done for that. That's at alltalentagency.co.uk. If you want to apply, upload your shot, if you're wanting your photos done. How does that work for you guys? Do you expect someone to upload a professional shot, or do you do that for the people?
You need to pay for it yourself. Yeah. It's an expense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, carry on, Sonia.
During the pandemic, we've been accepting selfies. It's clear, not thinking. But yes, you do. We set up headshot days where people can get their headshots done for a small fee, as to paying a larger fee and having the studio to yourself. But it is important to have a good headshot, because that's what people are going to see first and foremost, and then it's videos and all that kind of stuff. And your social media is really important now, because clients are all over that as well, hunting down, seeing what you've got up on there as well.
And also, it's important to keep your headshots up to date. Like for myself, I've put on a little bit of weight over lockdown. My headshot has changed. So yeah, keep up to date. And also, if anyone's wanting, I kind of recommend, if you want a really good headshot professionally done, it makes rates, get Martin Windybank at Martin Windybank Photography, who's a friend of mine, but he's absolutely brilliant. He does a great job. And if you're really skint, then I'll do it. I've got a good camera now. But I suppose what may also have changed a bit is that before taking a selfie, like 4 years ago, would have been a ridiculous thing. But I mean, some of the cameras these days are so good that if you can just, get a ring light and just use it well, then you can get a really good photo off your phone, which was not the case a few years ago. We've got... I want to be an Outlander. I do like Sam, says Stuart Graham. Who's Sam in Outlander? Is Sam one of the best people in Outlander?
The main guy.
Fraser. Jamie Fraser is the character.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't
Is that some drill I see there, Sonia?
Sorry?
Is that some drill?
Jamesy Man's in the house. Hello, Jamesy Man. My friend Lily said, "You're all beautiful," and I agree.
Oh.
And
it's the lighting, Lily. It's the lighting.
Do you know what? I've actually
family.
Hi.
Going back
the
to
dog.
Emma, I think I've actually got a link here to. Is this Emma's? Hold on.
I don't know what one. Listen, I'm not great with technology. That's why there's so many links. I don't know what.
I've got lots of links. I think I've got the one. It's on iCloud Photos. This looks like the real thing.
Is this Mary?
This is iCloud
I don't know.
Photos.
Sonia, is this allowed?
Is this the one you went down to London with? Is this it? Let's give it a shot.
That is one of them.
Okay, let's give this a shot.
Mary! Miss! I'm so sorry. Give that to me immediately. Are you going to fire me? Should I? What? Well, what do you think? Should I fire you? I should fire you. I'll get my things. But I'm not going to. Harry told me about the fire, about your house, your parents. Here. But just ask next time.
Yeah, no respect in every aspect to the man like Mark. I love what the man I talk on the radio. In case you never know. You call that radio, radio. Call that the radio, radio. You call that radio, radio. Call that the radio, radio. Come and say, in meaning my name, I'll just go with the flow. In the meaning my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you Mr. Mark now go bend down low. Till you Mr. Mark now go bend down low. Boom. Lot of mercy. Yo. You call that radio, radio. You call that radio, radio. Come and say don't you be another man, I'll go lose your head. Say don't you be another me say and lose the head. Me say radio, radio. Call that a radio, radio. Straight from out of Glasgow, Glasgow. Straight from out of Glasgow, Glasgow. Nice enough on the studio, studio. Come and say in me, my name, I'll just go with the flow. In me, my name, I'll just go with the flow. So till you Mr. Mark now go bend down low. Till you Mr. Mark now go bend down low. No radio, radio. You call that the radio, radio. Them man I give you miss a lot of subject. And them I think a man you can't object. So don't you ever come and disrespect. I love and respect in a every aspect.
You're tuned in to You Call That Radio TV. We're live with the cast of talent. It said 270 shows since lockdown. That's an old thing. It's 400 shows we've done, all because of the support of our patrons. So if you enjoy the show, patreon.com/You Call That Radio, and your name goes into a raffle. Hit the subscribe button, and hopefully you want to join us in the real world. I don't know if we can live stream this one because the Icebox has shite internet, but we're going to be there in the real world. The Attila the Stockbroker celebrating 40 years of music, poetry and strong opinions this Saturday night. Come along, we've got an after party as well. That's this Saturday. And if you're a patron and you're skint, give me a message, I'll stick you in the guest list. But that should be a good one. I'll be interviewing him and then I'll be doing a live set. And then I'm not going to talk about anything that's happening next week apart from the Moods, which is at the Icebox as well, next Friday night, all the way from Manchester. We are working with Down the Rabbit Hole to bring you a series of warm-up gigs. The Moods, plus an amazing support acts I'm going to announce in the next day or two. The Moods are my favourite live band. They are coming to Glasgow on Friday. We just confirmed it yesterday. I'm buzzing for that. So come along to that. And we've got an after party at La Discoteca till the late wee hours. You're all welcome to join us for that. And let's bring the cast of talent back on. Hannah, Davey, Sonia, Brianne and Emma. It's been absolutely amazing speaking to all you guys. There was a couple of comments coming about Emma. Sultry mistress with a kind heart.
There you go.
and James, who was right involved, he's like, don't fire her, come on. She was not fired. Just a warning. Don't do it again. And if I should have introduced that was the thing we're talking about when you went to London and Hannah was being sick and the cars broke down and stuff like that.
Yes.
But amazing piece of film. Well done for that. So what
Thank
I'm
you.
going to go around is just go around to everybody and just tell us if you've got anything coming up or how people can follow you on your socials and stuff like that. Let's start with Hannah, who already has some films out. What are you working on, Hannah? What is coming up? And is your previous stuff available to watch? I know you've got quite a lot, but
yes, there is there's another documentary I did in 2020 called Not Your Average Influencers. Is back on iPlayer. Not Your Average Influencers. Talent is of course available on iPlayer, and I'd love people to watch it and let us know what they think. And I'm working on on a series for BBC, but I can't say much at the moment about it.
It's all very secretive, isn't it? The film industry. And music is like, I'm working on an album with blah, 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 and it's coming soon, and it's usually 2 years ahead. But keep up the good work, Hannah. I love the documentary. Everything you do turns to gold, so keep them coming. Good to see you busy. Davey boy, what is happening? You've got Steps tribute act this Saturday in Aberdeen. Anything else?
So if you want to book Steps, no secrets with me, I'll just pimp myself out right now. If you want to book Steps, Steps with a Z, get us on Facebook at Steps with a Z, send us a wee message. We'll play anywhere, your back garden, your shed. If you're paying well, we'll be there. And if you want to book any acting work, all talent, UK.
Amazing. Thank you, Davey. Emma?
Hi, right, okay, so I'm in for quite a few exciting things, but I'm not allowed to say.
The
so
secrets, the film secrets again.
Fingers crossed. You know, since Talents came out, all the things that I've been working on, everything seems to have come out at the same time, so it's been really exciting for me the past few months. I got a speaking part on Crime, which is on BritBox, and I played a sex worker on
Welsh.
that. Yes.
I actually got the email about that one. I don't know if it was through Sonia, but I got the email. But unfortunately, I was working that day. But I was gutted because I would love. I've not seen it yet, but
you would like to play the sex worker.
Have you already did it? Is that out? You're speaking.
Yeah,
part?
it's out. It's on. It's in the show. It's just a few minutes, but it was good fun. It was my first ever speaking part on a production, so that was good fun.
I've got a link to Stirling Furniture. Is that right?
Yes, that was with the family. that was I loved that one. That was
okay. So
amazing.
Because for people that maybe don't know, so let's get the Stirling, because they still get the same song with Stirling Furniture.
No, it's a different song they've done. So this is everyone in
Forest. Honest. I don't think I did that one, but I think I made that bit up the last bit. Let's have a wee look at this. Let's just see the talented Hamilton family. Let's just go for that.
No.
While we.
Where we are, home is where the heart is.
Create the home your house deserves from the home of inspiration.
Home is where
Sterling Home. Winter
Look at Max.
sale now on.
Oh.
doesn't matter where we are.
Oh, sorry.
Again.
Create the home your house deserves from the home of inspiration.
Home is where
Sterling Home. Winter sale now on.
I'll tell you, Emma, you could convince them to buy a sideboard.
That's an earworm, that tune, isn't
it? The kids were great on that. So
Good.
Yeah, that's came out. Calla Holmes advert came out. The Famous Grouse advert came out, and I'm in for. As I say, I'm in for. Sonia's and our team have been amazing, and they've got me up for a couple of really exciting things. It's been challenging me as well, where I've maybe had to use a few different accents and things like that. So yeah, it's been really exciting, and we're still to hear back for those. So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
And I would just like to say that we don't have any adverts on You Call That Radio. So Stirling Furniture, if you're watching, sign up to the Patreon. It's only £3 a month. Patreon.com/You Call That Radio. We don't do adverts. It's powered purely by the patrons. Or, you know what, if you just change the theme music back to Get It in Forest, You Call It Quits. Is that the same thing? Am I getting mixed up?
No, I think you're thinking Forest Furnishings, so you know?
No, it's
Forest Furnishings.
It is. No, you're right.
Sterling on Forest Furnishing.
Oh, did they?
Aye, they own them, yeah.
Right, and what does was that Sterling
Double the
Hutchison's and
discount.
Stepek?
Double the discount.
Is that the same thing? I don't think that's a different thing.
Stepek was different, I think.
Was that not the TV place?
That was CS. Was it SCS? Double the discount.
I've now got the What Everyone Wants song in my head. We've had.
Oh no! My husband used to work in there.
Used to work in
that was my first modelling job.
That was his first job. What every woman wants.
Modelling job.
There you go.
What every woman wants. Barry.
I'm a palm reader. I'm a digital palm reader, and we've got. It looks like we've got at the last minute. At the last minute, we've got a special guest. Mr. Evans. He's made it. Hello, Evans.
How you doing?
We have the missing piece of the puzzle here.
It took a while.
Evans, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yes, we're all very well.
I'm great. How
I
are
don't know, I
you?
don't know how much of the show you've seen, man, but I really enjoyed the show. You are one motivated dude. You motivated me watching
you, man.
that, and I'm assuming you've got a lots of stuff going on.
Yeah, today actually, that's part of the reason why I was late, because we were shooting and then we went over like by an hour, so I had to get back to Glasgow, and then that's literally me just 10 minutes in the door.
Amazing. And what the question I was asking everyone at the start was how did you get involved in the show, and what did you make of the final cut when you seen it for the first time?
How I got involved in the show. So actually, Sonia, she hit me up about like maybe a few months prior about like, there's this big thing coming up for like, BBC. Would you like to get involved? That kind of thing. And I was like, why not? Because I just felt like I had a story to tell, that kind of thing. And it's met Hannah. Hannah's amazing, and I think we had like maybe one or two maybe Zoom kind of calls, and then we just got on really well, and then I was fortunate enough to be selected.
And what was it like seeing it all come all together at the end?
Oh, it was surreal. Yeah, it was surreal. Like, because we obviously I went to the premiere night with my girlfriend and my mom, so that was really nice to kind of like see everyone again. Well, actually, I saw a few people for the first time, which is cool. And then shoots after that, like I started seeing them more often. I saw Brianne and Good Omens. That was pretty cool.
You scared me on set.
No, that was my bad. That was my bad. I had to.
Absolutely, yeah. You got me.
So, can you tell us anything that you've got coming up, Evans, or are you sworn to secrecy like everyone else on this show?
You're gonna have to ask Sonia about that. But no, I've got loads in the way, so it's been a busy 3 months, and there's hopefully more to come. But in terms of like the work and stuff,
so
yeah.
You and Harriet had a great job up north, did you know? For us
exactly.
Martin.
She's out here in the back. We had what? Sorry.
She's there.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, get her to say hi.
Get her on. I've got my family in the background.
That's okay. So are we.
Hi.
How you doing?
Sorry, I'm so coupled.
Stuart Graham says Evans is hot. Evans says, hi Evans, glad you made it. And is laughing at what everyone wants. That is in my head right now, which I'm assuming was written by Status Quo, because it sounds like every Status Quo song that's ever been made. But I don't know if they actually made the What Everyone Wants song. Mark McInnes wants to know, that is a very good question. Did you get a free discount on a couch? A free discount's a bit of an oxymoron or an oxymoron. But did you get a wee? How's your couch? How's your couch situation now? Did you get a wee backhander?
Me?
Yeah.
I just actually got a couple of bar stools for my kitchen. But they have offered me a wee discount, but I never got it on them because I didn't ask in time for that. But they said they'll give me a wee discount the next time.
Free couches for life, I would say.
Not free couch, no.
I've just bought a new house. Wink, wink.
people in me and say, can I get my wee couple of % discount, please?
David, you might have actually just won a house, because Mary Phillips has offered you a gig at I can never say it. Currie. It's in the Kingdom of Fife. I know what it is.
We'll come to Fife, eh? We'll come.
Petty Currie. Correct here. That is not how you say it.
How do
you say Petty Currie? Sorry, I've got a translator that speaks Fife.
Can we get Mary on? Mary's been a super commenter tonight. Can we get Mary in?
She has a super commenter. She's a super person. And I think you'll be seeing more of Mary because she has been an extra in our music video before. And she's right up for it. And she loves Outlander.
Yes.
So you'll be getting an email, Sonia, no doubt about it.
Great.
You'll be getting it.
Great.
Stuart's saying if you get steps, pair up with Karen Dunbar and I'll be there. Well, Karen Dunbar was on the show. And I called, she says if I wanted a DJ, she would do it. So I called her bluff. And she DJ'd our after party, so maybe we could get Karen Dunbar and Steps. That sounds like a good.
Karen Dunbar and Steps. I smell shite.
I love her.
I love Karen Dunbar.
Legend, absolute legend.
I love her.
Brianne, let's go back to Brianne because we were in the middle of doing the plugs. Brianne, you've got a TikTok and stuff. Anything else you want to plug? And I'll find the TikTok link.
Well, the episode of Casualty that I actually shot on the documentary, like while we're doing that, that's coming out soon. So it's episode 24. I think we're on like 21 or 22 just now. So that should be out in the next few weeks. What else am I to talk about? There's some stuff that I'm not like.
On your phone.
Of course.
There's I do TikTok, so if like, you know, if you want to see my face more, a bit too much, I do like makeup and like show how I do my makeup with my feet on TikTok, because obviously I don't have the hands to do it. So yeah, I've got about 20,000 followers on there, and I kind of use that quite a lot. Instagram as well. I think every other piece of work I'm in the young person's guarantee kind of stuff, like the government stuff. The rest of the stuff I can't talk about.
It's a secret.
Yeah.
Somebody said it right. Let's join a talk show. No comment. Honestly, musicians are easier. They can't wait to tell us what they're up to normally. But yeah, amazing. And I've put the link to the TikTok. You know, I just joined TikTok last week. I've not got any followers.
God.
I think you call that radio, but I've not got any content. I've not followed anyone. But yeah, it's became apparent that Facebook is dead, and it just seems like all social media is dying, and TikTok seems to be doing well. So I suppose probably missed the bandwagon now, but I'm going to get on there.
TikTok thing I accidentally blew up. It was like
on TikTok.
Did you get a big deal on TikTok then? Well, I'm going to follow you. I think I'm following 2 people. She'll be my 3rd person. So one new follower.
Yeah, I had to change my name to the amputee butt because a lot of people, when I made jokes about being an amputee, were like, "That's so offensive," and I was like, "I am an amputee." So, yeah, that's the name. That's why the name.
Amazing. And Evans, what have you got? Any social links or anything that you want to plug for people to check out what you're up to?
For me, I've got my Instagram. I'm Evans Kumalo. It's literally just my full name. IMEVANS KHUMALO. Yeah, what do I type it or like how do?
Yeah, well, can somebody put it in the private chat and then I'll bring it on.
I'll put it in. I'll put it in.
Go on, Hannah.
Hope I get this right.
Yeah, I think that's really my only kind of like social handle. I've got Facebook, but I don't really, like you said, it's kind of like outdated.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a tough one because I mean the majority of our audience are in the Facebook demographic, but because Facebook doesn't really show you anything unless you like want to pay for sponsored ads. But I'm banned from doing sponsored ads until I upload my passport, and it's not happening. It's just not happening. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It
is what it is.
Audience, but yeah, let's go into TikTok. Let's all go into TikTok. And I've got the Instagram page here. TikTok. So if anyone's on Insta, I'm on Insta. I like Insta. But is Insta dying as well? I'm a wee bit too old now. I don't really know what's cool. Is Insta over or is it still hanging in there?
No comment. I'm shy on Insta.
Yeah. Instagram's TikTok, but
Insta's that's where it's happening.
I think it's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah. It's got the. It's just a bit less political, a bit more. You know, I suppose the thing about Facebook is it feels like you've got to accept everyone that you've met once in real life.
Oh, aye.
It's rude if you don't. But I think on Insta, it's like nobody really cares if you're following.
Yeah.
I tend to just follow people that I like and they take nice pictures, and it's just like food and sunrises.
I'd say people are more offended when you don't like their photos. I'm just like, what?
Well, these young things, like anything. I can't keep up with it. That's the strange thing about filming with young people.
I mainly use
realize how out of touch you are. The memes.
Memes.
Yeah, I felt when I was
I did my
filming with
first
Leanne.
TikTok dance tonight.
You've got your first
When I was-
TikTok dance. Well, let's get an exclusive.
Yeah, I did my-
I've got an exclusive banner. Like,
First TikTok
there is
dance
no.
with Daisy tonight.
We've got an exclusive banner. You know,
Look,
no
Sonia, there's an
expense
exclusive.
spared on
Let's
this
see
show.
it.
Can we see it?
Where's
Send us a link or
Daisy?
just give us a dance.
Daisy's here. Daisy, where is it? How did it get onto?
Send me
Just
the link.
show us.
Just do the link. I just
We'll dig it out, my exclusive TikTok
dig it out.
dance.
Just do the dance.
I don't know how to.
We could just do the dance. Right, come on, Daisy, this is your chance to shine on TikTok, the young ones. I'm like training Daisy up to take over.
All I know is it's got 2 likes so far.
We've got 2 likes.
Daisy's
apparently.
Sonia's niece.
Sonia, what's next?
Did it worth
What's
it?
next for?
At
next
Daisy
for,
Bell
All Talent?
_2.
I'll give it a follow.
Well, All Talent is we're just going from strength to strength, and we've got some really exciting projects that we can't talk about.
Of course not. Of course, of course I know. There is a pattern emerging. We're going to come on the show and promote things that we can't talk about.
Can I just say that both Evans and Emma have got amazing teeth, and they might be getting a wee job this weekend.
Oh. Will I see you this weekend, Evans?
You're on different different
I
parts
can't
of the
tell you.
shoot.
You can't answer this thing. The world of a background artist. We're seeing Saturday. Sorry, I can't tell you. I've sworn to somebody.
Wait a minute. Wait a wee minute. I've got a board to pick, right? Evans and Emma are getting like teeth adverts. I got asked how good my hands were the other day for a hand model job. What's going on?
Nobody said teeth advert. Hold on. Is it a teeth advert? Is it a Colgate? Is it a Colgate contract getting flung out? You've said
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
On your first.
Can I just say that All Talents are now doing bits and pieces?
I know I don't have either. No teeth, no hands. I'm just useless.
Not at all.
God,
She did trump
okay,
you
so-
there, though, David. Oh, sorry.
What?
The big question. Is there going to be a sequel? Hannah, is there going to be a sequel?
Oh.
I think we should positive. I'm a big believer in positive manifestation, so I hope so. No, not I hope so. Yes, there will be. There's obviously, it's a tricky process. The whole commissioning BBC process.
And even if you were commissioned, you wouldn't tell me, would you? None of you would tell me. It's already under production. You'd be like, well, you can spin for it. We're not telling him anything.
Exactly.
I hope there is a sequel.
No.
I hope there is a sequel, Hannah.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I think
me
you've got a
too.
good group together, and it was an amazing documentary. If you haven't seen it, it's on BBC iPlayer now. Go and check it out. Thank you to everyone who's been on the show tonight. It's been amazing. And
Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks for
It's
having
been
us.
great.
I was late for the party, but
Good luck
we're here.
Good luck in all you're doing. Sonia, if you
Thank
ever need a
you.
guy to turn up 15 minutes late, I can maybe do Dumbarton, but nowhere else, just Dumbarton. 'Cause you get a 15-minute leeway. But if it's in Glasgow, I can't do it. But please have a seat with Mary Phillips. The commenter of the night is Mary Phillips, who will be sending an email
Yay!
very soon to. In fact, we can actually.
Please have a seat, Carl.
Thank you so much for having us, Mark, and thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank
to the folks
you.
that have watched
Thank you so much
the
for
doco. Tell your friends.
Thank you.
Watch Talent.
Yeah.
Watch
We
Talent and
appreciate-
iPlayer, hit that subscribe
We
button.
appreciate every single view. For me, it's like if it speaks to somebody in some way, then it's all worth it. So I love, I'm like, I tell every one person that watches it to me is just like it's amazing. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Hannah, for making a great piece of work. Thank you to all you guys for being part of it. It's a great show. Good luck in the future with everything you're doing. We'll end with a round of
Thank you
applause
very much.
for Mary Phillips, commentator of the night, and all you guys. Thank you. Round of
Thank you.
applause. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Strange mood about
You call that radio?
Here to tell people that we hear you. One God will not allow.
You call that radio.
However you want to say it.
You call that radio?
You call that radio. However you want to say it, that's kind of part of the fun.
Powered by our patrons.
Brothers and sisters.